Did you know, students, that inside our body there are trillions of cells present? In every tiny cell, there are many small structures working together continuously. These small structures inside the cell are known as cell organelles. They are known as cell organelles. So, cell organelles. So what are cell organelles? So these are just like how in one company there will be different departments working together. In the same manner, in one cell there are different structures that work together and ensure that the cell performs properly. If you observe the cell organelles word, you will be able to understand that there is one more hidden word, organ, present here. Just like how there are different organs in our body, so organs of cell are known as cell organelles. So let's talk about them in detail, one by one. The first one is a cell wall. So this cell wall is present only in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. Before I talk about this, let's understand that in types of cells, we are broadly talking about plant cell and animal cell. I hope you can clearly see the difference in the pictures drawn. What is our exact difference? We are going to learn here. So first one, cell wall. Cell wall is present only in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. If you see the plant cell here, there is one outer layer, outer wall, outer covering for the cell, whereas here for animal cell there is no outer covering. This outer layer is there, but one more extra outer layer is not there, outer wall is not there. So this outer wall is known as cell wall. Okay, so what is the main characteristic, like what is the nature of this cell wall and what is the chief function, like the important role of cell wall? Let's understand that. Cell wall is first of all, it is made up of cellulose. It is made up of cellulose. And what is cellulose? It is a type of strong and fibrous sugar. Okay, strong and fibrous sugar. Why does plant need a component like cellulose? See, this cellulose is very strong. It is going to provide the cell with strong support. Okay, it is going to provide the cell with strength, so that cell gets the strength to overcome the environmental pressure. Okay, just like it is just like a wall around your house. How the wall is going to protect the house, in the same manner. So this cell wall is non-living. Non-living in the sense it is made up of dead fibrous cells. Clear? It doesn't grow on its own. Freely permeable means it is going to allow free entry and exit. Free entry and exit of substances. It is not going to stop any substances. Like whatever substances want to enter, it is going to freely allow it, and whatever substances want to leave the cell, it is going to freely permit them. Okay, so talking about the chief function, what is the chief function of cell wall? The chief function is to provide rigid support in the sense to give strong support for the cell. Also, it is going to give definite shape to the plant cell. Definite shape to the plant cell. Clear? Let's talk about the second organelle, that is cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. So cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. So as you see, the layer next to the cell wall here inside it is known as cell membrane. Clear? In plant cell, as you can see how I have labeled, whereas talking about the animal cell, it is the only layer present covering the cell, as there is no cell wall. Okay, cell membrane. It is the only outer layer covering and protecting the animal cell. Talking about the characteristics, this cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins. Lipoproteins. This lipoproteins is a two-word combination. Like it consists of lipids plus proteins. As we know the meaning of the word proteins. Talking about lipids, these are nothing but fats. Okay, so that means plasma membrane or cell membrane is made up of lipids and proteins together, and these lipids and proteins will be continuously moving. Okay, they will be moving together. These are like the lipid and the protein molecules, okay, which will be moving together and which will be interacting, so by this we can understand that it is, playing something actively, it is playing an active role. So this plasma membrane is very smart. It is also known as selectively permeable. Why? Because it is not going to allow anyone freely. It is going to think smartly. It is going to act as a security guard. It is going to allow only useful substances inside the cell. And whichever waste is there, that waste will be allowed outside of the cell. It will allow the entry of useful substances and exit of the unwanted, unknown or waste substances. Clear? So as it is working smartly, that is why we can say that it is living. It can grow on its own. It can change its shape on its own. It can even repair itself if it gets damaged. Okay, so talking about the chief function, what is the chief function? The number one is selectively permeable. That means it is going to smartly allow which one has to enter and which one has to exit, just like the security guard. Okay, and along with that, it is going to give a shape to the cell. Let's talk about the other further organelles. Next is cytoplasm. Talking about cytoplasm, it is a jelly-like fluid. Okay, a jelly-like fluid which is present in the cell, and all the organelles are going to float in this jelly-like fluid. Okay, just like how different objects float in water, in the same manner all the organelles like Golgi body, mitochondria, vacuoles, lysosomes, even ribosomes, these small granules like structures, ribosomes, every cell organelle is going to remain suspended, nothing but they remain floating in the cytoplasm. But here we have a twist. So nucleus is not included in the cytoplasm. Textbooks say that all the cell organelles are included in cytoplasm except nucleus. What does this sentence mean? This sentence means that nucleus is separated by the cytoplasm. How? Let me show you the diagram. Here we have the diagram. So if you see this diagram carefully, here as you can see that nucleus membrane is double layered. It is the outer membrane, it is the inner membrane, and together it is known as nuclear envelope. This nuclear envelope is going to separate the nucleus completely from the other cell organelles and completely from the cytoplasm. Then you might get one doubt. What is the fluid inside nucleus called? Even inside nucleus we have the jelly-like fluid, and that is known as nucleoplasm, not the cytoplasm. Okay, so now we are going to learn one more word. So nucleoplasm, which is present inside the nucleus, plus cytoplasm, which is present outside the nucleus in the cell, they together become protoplasm. Protoplasm, nothing but the life constituting fluid, the jelly-like fluid which makes life. Clear? So this was about cytoplasm. So if we talk about cytoplasm, what is the chief function of it? The major function is it is going to help in all metabolic activities. Like all the metabolic activities take place in cytoplasm. Like what are the metabolic activities? These includes cellular respiration, and then throwing out waste, excretion, and even DNA replication. So DNA replication is nothing but DNA is going to make a copy of itself. This happens during cell division. Okay, so these important activities are going to take place only in cytoplasm. Okay, next moving ahead to mitochondria. Mitochondria, plural word, mitochondrion singular. So if you see, mitochondria is a sausage shaped organelle, just like how we have seen that, meat sausage having the cuts inside. And here, normally speaking, sausage is nothing, the meaning is equals to cylindrical shape or tubular in shape. Okay, cylindrical or tubular. So if you see here, there is a double membrane for mitochondria. This is known as the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. If you see, inner membrane is having some folds. These folds are known as cristae. These folds are known as cristae. Okay, so what is the characteristics of mitochondria? The main important thing that it is going to do, as we know, we have talked about its shape. It's inner membrane, it is double membraned, right? Double membraned, and then it consists of cristae, inner foldings, right? Now talking about the function. The function is, it is going to release energy. It is going to release energy in the form of ATP, and that is why we call mitochondria as powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse of the cell. Its main work is to supply, just like how electrical department is going to supply electricity. In the same manner, here mitochondria is going to supply power for the cell. Power in the form of what? ATP. And what is ATP? Keep in mind, ATP is known as energy currency of the cell. Just like how, if we relate this to money is equals to power, right? So money is equals to power now. So money, let me explain you here. Money is equals to power. So money in India is measured in rupees, right? Currency is rupees. In the same manner, here in cell biology, power in this case is measured in the form of ATP. Clear? So ATP becomes the energy currency of the cell. Moving ahead. Next, talking about nucleus. Okay, nucleus is the director of the cell. Just like how every film has a director, like that only it is the director. It is going to control. It is also called as control center, controller of the cell, or in simple terms we can say this as brain of the cell. It is going to control what to do, what not to do. It is going to give the instructions. Okay, and as we know, these thread, as I have told you about the nuclear membrane and nucleoplasm, so the thread like structures here, these are called as chromatin. Okay, chromatin. And chromatin contains DNA. And what does DNA carry? DNA carry the genes. So what are genes? Nothing but they are going to carry the hereditary information. Okay, they are going to carry the hereditary material that is transferred from one generation to another generation, from parent to children. Okay, so many students, they get confused about RNA. Don't get confused, students. RNA, there are different types of RNA and each type is present in different locations. RNA, immature RNA, like non-functional RNA, is present inside this part, inside the nucleolus. Can you see this, dense dot like structure? It is known as nucleolus. What is nucleolus? It is a protein factory present inside the nucleus. Its main work is to produce proteins. Okay, and it consists of immature non-functional RNA. Even inside the nucleus also, even here, like outside nucleolus also, you will be getting RNA which is immature. Okay, then what about mature RNA? Mature RNA you will find in cytoplasm. Okay, in cytoplasm, and one more, you will also find them in ribosomes. Clear? So see, RNA locations are, it is present in nucleolus, in nucleus, in cytoplasm, and even in ribosomes. Clear? So talking about the chief function of nucleus, the chief function is, it is the controller of the cell or brain of the cell. Okay, so moving ahead to the next one, that is ribosomes. So as you can see, these look like small granules or small pieces scattered in the cell. So these ribosomes are of two types. First one are free ribosomes, which are freely present like this, just like this, small pieces individually. Second type is attached ribosomes, means those ribosomes which are attached on surface. For example, we have the network like structure known as the endoplasmic reticulum. Upon this endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are present. Such ribosomes which are present on surface of any cell organelle are called as attached ribosomes. So what does this ribosomes do? What is the work of ribosomes? We'll talk about here. Ribosomes main work is protein synthesis. These are going to prepare or make the proteins. So in short, we can call them as protein factories of the cell. They make important proteins required by the cell. Clear? Let's talk about endoplasmic reticulum. Its short form is ER. It is just like this, a network like structure which is present inside the cell. As you can see, it is like a pathway like this, just like a network. Okay, so let's talk about its characteristics. In ER we have two types, that is, first one is rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is represented by the short form RER, and the next one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, SCR. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, R for rough, R for ribosomes. Rough endoplasmic reticulums include ribosomes. That's why such ER which contains ribosomes is known as RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Which do not contain ribosomes. Ribosomes are not present. Such ER is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. What is the overall work of endoplasmic reticulum? Endoplasmic reticulum, it is going to act like a transporter. It is going to act like a transporter, where it is going to transport all the materials to the different destinations of the cell. Actually, this if we talk in detail about this, the RER is going to make proteins. As we have ribosomes involved, keep this one thing in mind: wherever ribosomes are there the major work will be protein synthesis, because ribosomes are protein factories. Whereas in SCR, where ribosomes are not there at that time, instead of proteins, they are going to make lipids or fats. Both are same. Lipids nothing but fats. They are going to synthesize lipids or fats, and then they are going to transport these to the other parts of the cell. So immediately they are going to transport this to the Golgi body. Their transport comes to Golgi body. Golgi body is also called as Golgi apparatus. Clear? Its structure is like this. Okay, and it is also called as dictyosomes. Dictyosomes word is used in case of plants. Okay, dictyosomes in plants. So Golgi body or Golgi apparatus in animals, dictyosomes word can be used in plants. So if we talk about Golgi body, the main characteristics of Golgi body is it is going to receive the materials first. From where? From endoplasmic reticulum. What materials it is going to receive? It is going to receive the proteins made. It is going to receive the lipids or fats made. So after receiving, what it is going to do? It is going to sometimes modify. Modify means change it, or it is going to arrange it, sort it, and then it is going to package it. Okay, it is going to pack it, and then it is going to transport it further to different locations of the cell. Overall, it is acting like a courier service or post office. Clear? Moving ahead. Lysosomes are sac-like structures. Sac nothing but bag. Okay, they are like pouch-like structure or bag-like structure, which is going to store enzymes. It is going to store enzymes. What type of enzymes? Hydrolytic enzymes. Okay, hydrolytic enzymes. So just keep in mind the word enzymes, and then how many number of enzymes? It can be 80 to 90 enzymes can be present in lysosome. And what is the simplest meaning of enzyme? Enzyme simplest meaning you can understand as catalyst, or still more simplest, nothing but accelerator. something which is going to speed up the process. Now this accelerator means enzyme, what process it is going to speed up, that we have to know. What process? Let's come to the function side. The lysosome is going to it is going to catch or engulf, we call, no, it is going to just come and catch the harmful materials, the harmful or waste materials, and then it is going to digest them. It is going to digest them. Clear? It is going to digest those waste materials, those whichever are like not useful, not useful, which is like harmful for the cell. All those materials it is going to digest inside. It is going to digest it inside. So for faster digestion, this waste material has to be quickly digested and quickly thrown out of the body, out of the cell. For that quicker process, we want accelerators or we want enzymes. Clear? So that is why, so what happens is during this digesting process, the lysosome destroys itself, because if it wants to destroy the waste material inside, during that process it has to destroy itself. That is why these are known as suicidal bags of the cell. Suicidal bags of the cell. Clear? Moving ahead to the next one, that is vacuole. So in plants, vacuoles are of large size like this, and there is only one vacuole present in a one plant cell. Whereas in animal cell, many small vacuoles are smaller in size, and several vacuoles are present, scattered along in the cytoplasm. So why like that? Why? What's the difference? Why the difference? The difference is because, see, animals need flexibility. Like animals, we want to, easily roam. As an animal, we are those organisms which move, right? So animals need movement. They move from one place to another. So overall, we need flexibility, right? So what happens is, if there are more vacuoles are like storage tanks. Okay, their chief function is storing something, so they are like storage tanks. So when these storage tanks increase inside the cell, they are going to store, let's assume, not assume, generally vacuoles are going to store water, they are going to store food materials, and even they are going to store the waste materials. Okay, so when vacuoles are more, especially in animal cell, what is going to happen? Cells are going to become stiff, and when cells become stiff, the body's flexibility is going to reduce. Whereas in case of plants, see, plants do not do locomotion. Locomotion means plants do not move from one place to another. What they only want is standing straight, and plant wants the strength to be upright, and to stand straight, right, against the environmental pressure. To do this thing, to be upright, plants need this water pressure. Okay, plants need water pressure, and where is this water stored? Water is stored in the vacuole. Hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, please comment me. So talking about the function, as we know, vacuole is going to act as a storage tank or store room. Clear? So let's talk about the last few organelles which are left. I think plastids are left. We'll cover that. So plastids are nothing but it is a large family actually. So family containing family members. Here each family member is a cell organelle. Okay, each family member is a complete independent cell organelle. So so these plastids are present only in plant cells. So there are many types of plastids, out of which the most important one is chloroplast. Chloroplast structure is like this. If we talk about it in detail, it looks like this. We have the diagram. So it is a double membrane organelle. It is the outer membrane and it is the inner membrane. So the fluid inside the chloroplast is known as stroma. Okay, the fluid, one more, what we call, the fluid inside a cell organelle is known as matrix, and here the matrix of chloroplast is known as stroma. Clear? So next is So as you can see these structures, these coin size structure, okay, here the coin like structure, the coin like bag is individually known as thylakoid. When these thylakoids form a group or a stack, that is known as granum. Granum is granum is a singular word. If there is one stack, we call as granum. If there are multiple, we call as grana. So whatever you can see, these tubular structures connecting each grana, they are called as stroma lamella. So each singular stroma lamella, plural stroma lamellae. So one more name of stroma lamellae is fret channels. Okay, so why do we need these fret channels? Actually, these channels, these tubes are going to keep each grana separate so that they don't club or they don't collide with each other. To keep it separate and to keep it freely spaced, we have fret channels. Clear? So this is it is thylakoid, it is granum, and in here the matrix is called as stroma, and this is stroma lamellae, and inner and outer membrane. Clear? So let's talk about the functions. What is the overall function of chloroplast? Actually, chloroplast contains one chloro word. What is that chloro word? It is nothing but it contains chlorophyll. And as we know, chlorophyll is a green pigment. Okay, green pigment which is responsible for the green color of plants. Along with that, what is the work? It is going to help in capturing the sunlight, because plants have to do the process of photosynthesis. For this process, plants need sunlight, right? Capture sunlight. Okay, for photosynthesis, plants want sunlight, and who is going to hold or absorb or catch that sunlight? Chlorophyll is going to help in that, and all the dark and light reactions are going to happen in the chloroplast. Okay, so talking about the next type of plastid, it is chromoplast. It is chromoplast. The word chromo is related to color. So this chromoplast is it is going to contain pigments. What pigment? Carotenoids. Okay, carotenoid pigments. These carotenoid is going to give colors like orange, or it can also give red or yellow. Okay, orange, red or yellow. And overall chromoplast is going to give vibrant color for flowers. It is present in flowers. Even it gives color for fruits, and even for the aging leaves. So if you see, aging leaves will be somewhat reddish orange in color. That is because of chromoplast, which contains carotenoids. Next is the last type, that is the leucoplast. Leuco is the word, like how we know we have leukocytes, no, for WBC, white blood cells. So leuco, that means it is something connected with no color or either white. So here here it is no color actually, like they do not contain any color pigments. They lack the color pigments, and what they do, what is their work? Their work is to store the nutrients. What type of nutrients in that? Their work is to store the carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Clear? So hope it is clear, children. So please comment me if you didn't understand any concept, and if any of the bio concept feels difficult, I'll feel pleasure to help you out. Do comment, subscribe and follow the clever chalk to make your concept spark. Thank you.